Welcome to my show. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to touch base on some things here. This is Ascension, End of Days, Return of the Rainbow Tribe. The Return of the Dragon Bloodline. The Rise of the Divine Feminine. There's a lot going on today that people can't comprehend because of the manipulation of ancient history. So where do we begin? We'll start off with the dragons, I guess, because this is about the dragons and the Naga bloodline. We'll just see where it goes. Because the people, they're out of time. Humanity is out of time. They're not aligned. They're not aligned with New Earth, with the Mayan calendar. They're not sure of where the dragons come from, but everybody talks on them. We're going through a DNA upgrade to return us back to a place where we were taken away from. This beautiful planet of creation, Mother Earth, Gaia, and all the animals that reside on her, and all the animals that went into hiding due to the manipulation, the animals that were hijacked and killed have been reborn. There's deep symbolism within these realms that people can't access. They're not able to go into the mind of the universe, into the sacred waters, and go deeply within themselves to go into the dragon's den, we'll say. A lot of people say things. A lot of people follow other people on a spiritual path, wanting to know the truth. There's a lot of fake people out there, a lot of fake spiritual prophets, a lot of false idols who like to lead people down the wrong path, and truly don't have any sacred information. of what ascension is truly about. People have heard of the stuff on the surface. Age of Aquarius, the rise of the divine feminine, returning back to peace on earth, peace and love, the rainbow, the people had it once in this timeline, but they lost it. They surrendered it to the beast by not standing up for Mother Earth. Back in the 60s and the 70s, it became polluted. This is really the time of when the Hopi prophecy came to light for the people of outside of the realm of just the Native Americans. The light came in, the rainbow started coming in and awakening the tribes all within. But it was shut down and manipulated. But we have reached that time of, I call it taking everything back. Because what came into Mother Earth and manipulated the tree of life, it came into the mind of creation, the universal mind. Which created the fallen realm. And we all know what has taken place in history, ancient history, leading up into this time of the dragon bloodline and what took place with the dragons and them being kidnapped and held hostage while their magic was manipulated and the unicorns were killed. These are higher divine animals that once roamed Mother Earth. They have everything to do with the Hopi prophecy. They have everything to do with the chariot and all the symbolism that has been taken away and manipulated. But we have returned. The sacred waters have returned. The dragons, the unicorn, the priestesses of the forest, the order of the red rose, the order of the pink rose. What is held sacred behind the dragon? What the green dragon protects? What is above and beyond anybody's imagination and anybody's sight? where people roam today in a fallen realm. They're not able to see the truth of what is out there on Turtle Island. They're not able to see what New Earth looks like. They're not able to see God's kingdom, because God's kingdom is a remastered rainbow that connects Turtle Island to Etoria through the blue diamond, through all of your symbolism that was corrupted, through all of your tribes, Star of David, Suncross, Swazi, because as you know, with the Swazi, it runs over different tribes. It's magic. Just like the dragons. Just like how they pulled the wool over your eyes and called them dinosaurs. Because the one, as we'll put it, the tree was manipulated. You know, your tree, your chakras, your sacred water, the water dragon became dark. And your inner sun could not shine from your belly. Your inner dragon was being manipulated, your kundalinis, because the fall happened. The fall into a lower consciousness. But now, the seeds have been planted truthfully. Because how many years have we gone since this enlightenment? The new enlightenment of the end of the Mayan calendar. Where's the seed? The seed is invisible. Where does a child come from? Now we'll get into some rainbows, because it's the return of the rainbow tribe. Within and without, as above, so below. But this matrix has taken us away. Even though we see it, we see the beauty. There's a lot that don't. It's not what you see on the surface. It's what's hidden behind the curtain, and the true frequency that has returned to Turtle Island and Mother Earth, and to all the feminine priestesses who once roamed the green forest of the Ouroboros and the brown tree, the brown wood dragon, wood green dragon, right? This is Emerald Bay, Lake Tahoe. We have forgotten where we come from. We have forgotten the ancestors, the frequency. It's nobody's fault. It's that our mother has been taken away, and we were born in a reality that wanted to destroy her children. And as you know of today, and you can look out there today, these are the end, we'll put it. This is the rise of the Rainbow Tribe. It's not that you hear a prophecy and it never starts, or never begins, or never ends. It's that people watch too much TV and they're not in the consciousness of understanding their inner workings on a spiritual level. Know where you're at, because this is where we are at. Rainbows are portholes for dragons. Rainbow dragons. Here's a good picture to analyze against your chakras. We'll go against your chakras. Everybody wants to be spiritual. Let's see. Oh yeah, I got some chakras and I meditate and all this stuff. But see, if you look at the rainbow, okay, and then you put it up against your chakras. In your chakras, your red chakra, your grounding chakra, is below. And then on the rainbow, it is above. Or vice versa with your other colors, your purple, indigo, whatever, violet, whatever. It's in the center. So why is it that you're upside down? Like, who's really upside down when you look at this rainbow and then you look at your chakras? Think about it. See, one of the things with Americans and their spirituality today, it's 0 to none. They've been overtaken by the beast, and their spirituality was manipulated. The world's original tribes have been manipulated. But within America, you have the religion that took over the people. You have Christianity that came in, and and all this stuff. It's not like no one knows about it. But what it comes down to is that they have tried to indoctrinate the people into a different way of thinking, a different way of believing, a different way of with the church, and to take people away from the land. You can't introduce a new religion to the people in America, a new way of spirituality. It doesn't work that way. the people will refuse it. Just like the Native Americans did for the most part. It's just a manipulation. So the people as a whole, because the Native Americans, their spirituality was taken, and they're all shoved in a corner, and they all drink alcohol and do meth, and it's so. And you look at the where we are today in America. It's a sad thing, because it continues. It's just that all of the people, this is generations later after the original, wipeout genocide. But the spirituality of white people, for the most part, and because if you look at the light workers, I'll put it, the star seeds, the majority of them are white, with possibly, being Native American or whatever. And, everybody's a tribe member. Once you understand your DNA, it's just that you need to understand what tribe you come from. And that's the hardest part, because people have lost their identity of where they come from, in a spiritual sense. Taken away from the land, and then these cities being built. But returning back to the land, so returning back to Mother Earth and Great Spirit, and what it was like before the fall, because the frequencies, it's when you think of the past, you think of your past, you think of somewhere else, like the Mayan times, or Nordic times, or biblical times, or Native American, if you come from that time. But in today's timeline, if the land is manipulated, then you have no true spirituality. You don't know what dimension you're in, because in reality, you're in their dimension. You're in the fallen realm, not understanding how to climb the dragon's ladder. Not understanding how deep you have to go within and shed all of your darkness to escape this reality. To come in contact with the Great Spirit, with your divine parents in heaven, with the Creator, with Jesus, your brother from another mother, from the same mother. This is where we become one tribe, one unity, one community. It's a painful thing that's taking place out there. It's been going on for generations, for lifetimes. We were never in the peace and love frequency 100%. We were in it, we were acting it, but the ones behind the curtain were pulling the strings. And it just takes time because the fallen ones knew the calendar, they knew the time, so they had to wait and lay dormant. But they weren't expecting this. They weren't expecting for the tide to turn. So here we are. Here we are. Rainbow Tribe. The Rainbow Tribe. The Rainbow Tribe. Turtle Island. So I made a video about all these lines, all these ley lines, because this is, the three Indias. This is paradise. This is where all the animals come from. This is your zodiac wheel with the serpent mound and all of the animals that are there. But I'm gonna get into people know of the Arcadian line and the temples, but as you see, kind of missing a couple temples, kind of missing quite a bit of stuff. People don't know what was here beforehand and the wars that took place. But I'm going to get right into, you have this, let's say, blue diamond, and you have this temple, we'll call it. There's a temple down in New Zealand, down in Victoria. And then, which connects to Florida, because it's a star map, and there's Bermuda Triangle. People don't know what it is because that, people have been taken away. But if you look at what came to this area through the fall, and the fallen ones who came here to sacrifice and kill all the Naga tribes, all the people. Okay? Because this is where all the way down into the Mayan times. But people don't understand what was up here in the Northeast at the same time as down here. And that's part of the manipulation of different timelines. Because if you have this serpent mound, you have the Nagas, you have Grand Teton. But see, in the northeast, you get into like Ireland and Scotland and all this stuff. Unicorns, lions, dragons. So the symbolism is here because it's color coordinated with the golden lion, the green serpent, and the red bird, and what is held sacred up here in the northwest under the Grand Teton and the Emerald Ray of South Lake Tahoe and the Pleiadians and the serpent mouse, serpent line. So once upon a time, we're going to take it back to a time of 3 Indias, I guess. You know, they try and hide the maps. They try and hide history. But I've done my research going back to when the planet was created and studied how volcanoes were created. And I studied this area because once upon a time there was other land to the east, Atlantis, whatever. So you had a road traveled, and as you know, hippies, you know, the pagans who were running, even the pilgrims, because if you put the word pilgrimage into a biblical sense, you have people, you know, and then you put it into the pilgrims, you know, eating turkey and stuff. The pilgrims coming to America on a pilgrimage, returning back to the Holy Land of Utah, Mount Zion, and the tree. Okay? But the people, on the lack of spirituality, can't see the interdimensional timeline shifts when it comes to thinking about this stuff. When you think of the Blue Kachina and the Native Americans, or Odin and the Nordic sense of the Northwest and the Emerald Bay of Lake Tahoe, and being like, you know, the goddess stuff, or the priest, you know, the forest, Odin, or down here in Naga country, you know, being the tar pit of the people, the darkest, you know, the dark tribes, all going all the way up to Scotland, and then the Ouroboros, and everything that comes along with all this stuff, and you know, South Asia and China and Japan and the dragons over there. So you have all this stuff about the dragons, but today's American spirituality, the people look in all directions outside of themselves for dragon symbolism. and dragon stuff. Okay. So the people will be looking at Buddha. They will look at the Mayan times. They'll look at South America. They'll look Nordic times, which that's so far gone of even comprehending any Nordic language. So, that's the same story over and over. But that's where the unicorns are. That's the forest. That's the symbolism. But it's not up and over and away somewhere else. When you have a Serpent Mound right here, and you have Florida, and this whole thing on the East Coast. Okay, so we're going to get into my studies of the volcano, okay, and what the first stone that was created out of the volcano, we'll say, because people play with crystals, but how are crystals made? What gives them the color? So when we're talking about New Earth, and we're talking about ascension in the age of Aquarius, you got to know your color patterns. You got to understand what and how Mother Earth is created. And what was once here before. Because a long time ago, we'll call it the House of Micah. So we'll call it the House of Micah, because it's like, what was it that created the rainbow? Like, what is it up there? And we know a rainbow in the sun and the rain and after a storm, but how does it come out of the earth? How does it come out of Gaia when the Ouroboros comes, and the radiation and the rays come, and people see the rainbow in the sky? People only know what they hear, what science tells them. They don't know anymore. Like, they have crystals. They have all different types of crystals and rocks and stuff. So you think of a volcano, you think of a mountain, think of Turtle Island. So the Blue Mountains, why is there bluegrass music? Why is the grass blue? Okay. The color blue is connected to India and the blue monkeys and the avatars and stuff like this. The blue avatars and stuff like this. But it's also connected to the Iron Shield. But see, this blue stone is connected to Stonehenge. It's connected to Victoria. It's connected to Australia. It's connected to Kenya, because there's a sacred stone. There's a watery stone But within the ground, within the earth, there's a stone called mica. Okay, a lot of people know of it. It comes in many different colors, and what they used to, you put it, go back in time, and think about all the churches. Okay, think of the churches and how they use stained glass to reflect the rainbow and reflect the sun into the church. That's what we are looking at here. Okay, the house of Micah, the house of the rainbow dragons, the house of the dragon's den, the house of the priestesses, the feminine. Because what took place, what used to take place here, was you had the houses, we call them. These are houses, because this is God's kingdom. This is God's house. And there's only one entrance into the dragon's den. This is an interdimensional map. And so the mercury, the water, the sacred water would come up through the temples, through the bottom of the houses, like you would think. And but the houses were built of mica, rainbow glass. Okay. They say, it's used for pottery, it's used for face painting, it's used for holy dust. This is the mica. This is what was created on a vibrational frequency through the volcano and through the perfect balance of all the alchemy and all the symbolism. Because we see what is here on the East Coast and the cities and these ones in DC, and Philly, and what has been taking place here in Florida, and this whole thing with the Bermuda Triangle and everything that has taken place all throughout here on the East Coast, versus what has took place over here for we're just going to put it back into the 1500s, because that's where most of the knowledge of, we'll put it as, the invasion, but what's coming today, people don't know, because they don't understand, because their frequency is not balanced properly to what took place in ancient history and the planets. And so what has happened, what's taken place, is they've been locked out. What is on Turtle Island the people that I know on Turtle Island, who, there's this whole thing of being a light worker and a starseed, but there's people out there, who are of a higher frequency, who are in control of portholes and stargates and whatever with on the land, blocking portholes, this type of stuff. So opening portholes, and so we have the whole East Coast thing, New York and stuff, and I'm up here outside of Philly, and there's so much to talk about, but I'm not going to waste my time in there with that right now. It's the road traveled, because in Pennsylvania, the lions, the cats, camels, everything used to roam here. And then when they came here, they stole them and they took them back. They took them over to Africa and said that they come from Africa. So, but the symbolism, the real Egypt is here. That's why, the cities are built the way that they are and so forth. But, you have so much symbolism under the water, above the water. That's just a little rundown where we at. So this is the return of the Rainbow people, Rainbow tribe. Soon, there's going to be a situation. Like, we have a lot of situations going on today, but this is blocking spiritually. Like, they've been kicked out, okay? They've been kicked out of God's kingdom. They've been kicked out of Mother Earth. They've been kicked out, of Divine Mother's frequencies. And they have nowhere to go except for into the AI. Their smart city that they're building here in Philadelphia. It has to be Philadelphia, because that's where everything happened. It's where the Philadelphia experiment happened. It's where they made the naval ship disappear. It's where the Illuminati first came into. There's a reasoning why everybody came through Philly, but nobody can comprehend. But I'll give a shout out to my friend in Florida. All the ladies who are around on this land, and the one down in New Zealand. Florida, Tennessee, Georgia, Arizona, SoCal, NorCal, Grand Teton, a handful up there in the Great Lakes. My friend in New York. All of the feminine. Because this is the pack. This is the initial pack. So we have returned. We just need to wake up the people to what history really was about, and the frequencies of history and ancient history. Because they have to act out their end time scenario, and they're doing it right now.